Attack Da Nite. Attack Da Nite. Attack Da Nite. Attack Da Nite.
Julius Evola was an Italian poet, mystic, and philosopher. While he is, much like Aleister Crowley before him, one of the world's modern wizards, Evola is mostly known as the preeminent post-World War II fascist intellectual. Unlike the Nazi Martin Heidegger, very few of Evola's contributions can be detached from their author's fascism. With much of his writing on Hermeticism, Evola rebuked the Church, leading to some Catholic organizations to label him a Satanist. His rejection of modernity led him to the doctrine of magical idealism, desiring a return to the paganism of the ancient Romans, along for a hierarchical society ruled by aristocrats, an anti-Semite, racist, and chauvinist. These were key tenets of Evola's traditionalism, made all the more strange by his woo-woo mysticism. Evola's existence is not the conspiracy, rather the list of his acolytes, especially Steve Bannon, mostly known for establishing Breitbart News and later becoming the primary architect behind Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, and Vladimir Putin's close advisor, Alexander Dugin, whose The Foundations of Geopolitics became the blueprint for Russia's ultranationalistic military expansion and propaganda campaigns. Evola was a fascist. He died in 1974 at the age of 76. So I will quote Evola to further illustrate the dangers of people with immense power professing their admiration for his ideas. In a superior civilization, as for example that of the Indo-Aryans, the being who is without a characteristic form or caste in the original meaning of the word, not even that of servant or shudra, would emerge as a pariah. In this respect, America is a society of pariahs. There is a role for pariahs. It is to be subjected to beings whose form and internal laws are precisely defined. The best and most authentic reaction against feminism and against every other female aberration should not be aimed at women as such, but at men instead. It should not be expected of women that they return to what they really are, and thus reestablish the necessary inner and outer conditions for a reintegration of a superior race, when men themselves retain only the semblance of true virility. No idea is as absurd as the idea of progress. The essential task ahead requires formulating an adequate doctrine, upholding principles that have been thoroughly studied, and beginning from these, giving birth to an order. This elite differentiating itself on a plane that is defined in terms of spiritual virility, decisiveness, and impersonality, and where every naturalistic bond loses its power and value, will be the bearer of a new principle of a higher authority and sovereignty. It will be able to denounce subversion and demagogy in whatever form they appear, and reverse the downward spiral of the top-level cadres and the irresistible rise to power of the masses. Not hard to see Evola's fascism on display here, but what's disconcerting is that Evola and his thinking rose from the ashes of World War II, gathering many adherents who lurked in the shadows before slowly emerging in the 1980s, only several years after Evola's death.